Hey guys, it's me, Meteor. This is the third and final part of my favorite Kirby abilities segment. Or not. I may have to do another one on 3D abilities after Forgotten Land. Talking about that could be a mouthful. Speaking of which, as of today, there's only one more month to wait, baby. Anyway, here we go. My favorite modern abilities. Starting off with probably the most OP of the list, Spark. Return to Dreamland version. This is the ability almost everyone used to complete their first run of the True Arena 10 years ago. Not only is a fully charged blast able to deal massive damage and travel through walls, but it could also be charged while moving, even in the air. It's like a never-ending supply of double star pellets that is only limited by how fast you can shake the Wii remote. Broken much? Even outside of bosses, the force field it generates is so large and powerful, barely anything could even touch you outside of maybe Shatzos and Gordos. Of course, Spark has been heavily downgraded in every Kirby game following Return to Dreamland, and its power has never been seen again. The closest we got was Archer, being able to charge and aim shots along with the ability to avoid all damage. However, with the lack of a force field to keep enemies at bay, or the ability to move while charging shots, it just doesn't compare. The rest of my list are honestly ones I have the most fun using, regardless of power. Let's start with by far the most iconic, Sword. This is the first ability that comes to mind in basically every conversation about Kirby. With a spin attack, sword beams at full health, down thrusts, not to mention the hat. It's not rocket science trying to guess which Nintendo character it's referencing. Even still, with the wide range of attacks and invisibility frames, it is probably the best ability to use your first time playing a Kirby game. No matter how many Kirby games I play, I still love using this overhead move. Moving on, we have another classic, Parasol. Admittedly, 95% of the reason I like this ability is being able to see Kirby float down from a high distance. Look how adorable he looks, he's so happy enjoying himself. In terms of attacking, lots of sliding. Whee! Seeing the parasol spin around along with the twinkle sound it makes, what's not to love? Never mind its range, invincibility frames, or what have you, it just makes me so happy using it. That in itself is worth it to me. In a similar vein, we have Ice. Way back before YouTube, when I took the time to beat Helper to Hero with every helper, Chili was by far the worst, simply because it was way too easy to slide into things. Oddly enough, the sliding mechanics are what I find so enjoyable to use today. There's just something satisfying about sliding, jumping, and following up with a spin in the air. The fact that you freeze pretty much everything in your path as you jump makes it that much better. Still hate it for bosses though. On the subject of spinning, we need to talk about Yo-Yo. Probably one of my favorite abilities from Superstar. I was really happy to see it come back. I do find it quite amusing Kirby has one of those genuine seals on the bill of his hat. Didn't even notice it until looking through Fighters 2 footage one day. Nice little attention to detail. Anyway, the ability pretty much remained the same, but they didn't really need to teach this old dog new tricks. Long, wide sweeping range, quick attacks, and other moves that will make your head spin. This ability back in its early years was regarded as one of the best abilities from Superstar. It's nice to see that some things never change. Coincidentally, there was one ability from Superstar that I did want to change. Paint. I always wanted to see what they could do if they gave it the magic treatment and made it a full moveset. Well, Star Allies pretty much gave us the answer. Artist! I wouldn't even say the ability is really that great, but I do love what they did with it. You could attack normally with a brush Ado style, or we can create arts! Either by painting enemies to attack for us, or creating a sculpture to smash. I would say I kinda wish there would have been more references with the art, but we got Adeline for that, which honestly makes the vanilla artist kinda underwhelming. But hey, I still thought it was neat to see an evolution of paint that way. One thing I find neat as well is that just like Magic and Squeak Squad, if you did miss the single-use gimmick of paint, just hold down plus Y and you could use that too. Finally, to end off the video, is probably my favorite new ability of the modern era, Staff. I didn't think much of this thing when I first saw it. Oh gee, another long-range melee weapon. As soon as I used it though, my goodness, I fell in love immediately. The amount of combos this thing could rack up is ridiculous. The whole bending, springy pole vault style of weapon just feels so fluid. I'm honestly not sure how well this ability is rated in the community, but between the range, the counters, and the animations, using this ability was probably some of the most fun I had in the base game of Star Allies. To whoever designed the staff, credits. Anyway, I guess that does it for this small segment of Ask Meteorz. If you had another question for me, ask it in the comments, and maybe I'll answer it next time.